Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is gonna be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in. Real estate agents are leaving the industry in record amount of numbers. And of the roughly 1.49 million agents, 800,000 have yet to close a deal in 2022. Yes, more than half of realtors have not closed a deal this year. And it makes sense. Many new realtors came into the industry at one of the best times in history to become a new agent. And they essentially were all spoiled. And many of them never learned the necessary skills to survive through a distressed housing market. And as a result of that, currently over 1/3 of realtors are struggling and behind on their rent or mortgage payment. So all of the times of money raining from the sky are over. And realtors will now have no choice but to go back to doing their normal jobs, which is work really, really hard and earn every penny of your commission. Now, this is a good thing because it will be easier for us to find a great realtor, which remember, guys, is extremely rare. And in my opinion, everyone should interview a minimum of 3 realtors and have them doing a market analysis in whatever area you're interested in purchasing in. Have them do a market analysis based on 2019, 2021, and 2020. And based on their skill set and based on their effort, make a decision accordingly. But regardless, you guys, you know I'm not your financial advisor, even though my bio is as a husband, renter, stressed out father, outworked renter, sick and tired of renting. Although my main bio is as a realtor, loan officer, and instructor in all things real estate. So guys, do me a favor for the message I'm trying to push. Like this video, subscribe and follow along my journey, and don't leave me hanging, guys. Shoot me a comment below. Let's get started on this read right now. And what we're going to do is read an article from Yahoo Finance to really go in what's going on with the realtors and what they're suggesting sellers should do right now. The name of the article is titled 37% of real estate agents in the US couldn't afford to pay their rent in October. Another bad sign for the housing market. Here are 3 key takeaways for sellers right now. So the article starts. As of September, the number of newly listed homes had dropped 20% from the year before, and homes are lingering on the market for 32 days, 13 more days than the year before, according to Redfin. But if you need yet another sign the market is in decline, just ask the people who've made it their business, real estate agents. In October, 37% of real estate agents struggled to pay rent on their offices, a 10% increase from just the month before. To be sure, it's a competitive career. The National Association of Realtors saw its members rise to an all-time high of 1.56 million in 2021, up from 1.49 million from the year before. But with the available inventory dropping off a cliff and the interest rates on the rise, many agents are floundering. And again, y'all, they should flounder, because if they're not making any money, how can they afford to live? And why would they continue a career making no money? That just doesn't make sense. But again, I think this is all good for us as buyers because it will weed out the people that just got in because there was easy money. And again, I fear for the new agents. Now, if you are a new agent and you listen to me, you know, one of the ways to survive through a distressed housing market is by joining a top team. Usually top teams consistently produce, and to be an agent and to really learn strategies in this market, I don't care if you've been in the industry for 6 years. In order to become good at your job, you need experience. You need to be closing transactions. And that's why I'm telling you, especially in a downturn, you may want to join a top team and do all the grunt work. Doing the grunt work as an agent gives you the best ability to learn every step. And not only that, to show empathy to the buyers and sellers. So all in all, if you're an agent, here's the thing, guys, we're just going to have to go back to what we normally had to do anyways. Now, this article takes a turn and it's going to go into what they're suggesting that sellers start to do now that sellers are realizing they're having trouble selling their houses. So the first point they're trying to make is timing isn't everything. Well, it kind of is everything. If they would have sold in June, they would have made a lot more money. Am I right? So timing is actually very important. Very, very important, but let's read what this has to say. When thinking of selling your home, think of the process like a business transaction. You have a product, your home, that you're selling to a customer. It's important to anticipate the customer's wants, needs, and desires, and market your product accordingly. What a tone change, right? What an absolute change in tone from the toxic seller's market that we're getting out of. Because the market has shifted, the power has suddenly shifted into potential buyers' hands. If you're selling your home to make profit, you may want to consider your motives. What we figure and almost want to not think about is how challenging it will be to purchase on the other side. If you're thinking of selling your house, don't let making a profit be your primary motivation. This is outrageous. Trying to play the real estate market can lead to further disappointment and frustration, especially if you've purchased a new home before selling your current one. But also, you guys, in my opinion, what's frustrating is like listening to people like Yahoo and Redfin and Zillow be overly optimistic about the biggest important transaction of your life. To me, that's way more frustrating because as because what we have to understand is typically first-time home buyers are underprepared, so they lean a lot more so on these companies. So the bad advice is very damaging, is my point. Now, the second thing that they want to make clear to sellers is that they need to shift their expectations. If you're selling your home, you need to consider the changing attitude towards home sales. While the demand is still there, real estate agents have witnessed a distinct shift in the market. They're no longer seeing lineups to view houses or extreme bidding wars on homes. Thank goodness. Instead, there seems to be some stabilization. It's just adapting to change. In a balanced market, you don't see much price growth. When you maybe saw your neighbors selling $100,000 or $200,000 in some areas higher, you can expect that because that was the product of a very, very tight seller's market, which we're not in anymore. And that is a fact. We are definitely not in that anymore. But I will make this point. I still think there's a heck of an opportunity to sell because most homeowners still have a tremendous amount of equity in their property. So if you're in distress or you're thinking about selling, you should probably do that now, sooner rather than later, because there's still demand and you still have equity more than likely. But again, as the year goes on and as we go into 2023, I think it's going to become increasingly more difficult, obviously, to sell your home. The article continues, with the market cooling, houses take much longer to sell and don't fetch nearly the same prices they once did. Buying a new, more expensive house before selling your current one could result in you having to float 2 mortgages for a time or having the new home's financing fall through. And keep in mind that issue can crop up even when you think the sale is a done deal. Watch and suggest planning ahead about what you'll do to be able to close on your new home, even if you can't sell your current one. And what I would suggest is postponing the purchase, right? Now, the last recommendation to sellers is the value of home inspection. When the market was hot, it didn't leave buyers with much room for negotiating. In the heat of the market, we're looking at least 5 to 10 multiple offers and no conditions. In the hottest areas, we saw financing conditions were gone. Home inspection conditions were pretty much gone. That's crazy to me. I think there were a lot of properties with issues that were sold and buyers just accepted it. Such a problem, guys. Such an issue. That dynamic has already started to shift, but it always presents sellers with an opportunity to use a home inspection to their advantage. Having a home inspection performed before you list your home for sale and including the report for prospective buyers to see lets you establish a firm asking price for your home. And because there will be no surprises for the buyer, they'll have less room to negotiate the final price. So in other words, guys, I really kind of take this article as, them trying to essentially say, don't freak out. But the thing is the fear of missing out will eventually spread to the seller's market. And I think we're starting to already see that. And honestly, I think we would have already seen that if there wasn't such a circus going on in our economy and with the administration and all these politics and whatnot. But the reality is, guys, is there's an absolute bloodbath right now as far as the industry in real estate. And there are many, many agents leaving, but not only realtors, also loan officers and really anyone that was in real estate. Escrow, title, insurance. There's so many different industries that are going to be impacted by a massive decline in real estate sales. Now, in conclusion, I want you guys to do me a favor and comment below and let me know what percentage of realtors that you think are going to fall behind on their rent during the first part of 2023, because I suspect we're going to see a continued exodus of realtors running away from this industry and essentially getting back into a corporate W-2 job. And to be honest, I believe that all in all, that is for our best interest, because we want people helping us purchase real estate that are the absolute best of the best. Again, because the transaction is typically the biggest, most important financial transactions of our lives. So why settle for anything less than the best? Now, other than that, guys, I really hope you guys got some value, insights, and perspective from today's video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.